Hey guys, welcome to Los Angeles, and I'm here with the introduction of the brand new 2026 Genesis GV70. And the best thing about this is I've got my man Moto Man behind the camera.
Hello, Roman.
So we're here before the LA Auto Show, and Genesis decided to unveil the 2026 GV70, and this is one of their better selling cars, isn't that right, Moto Man?
It's quite an interesting update. I think we should start where we normally never start, and that's the wheels.
Yeah, you call these Dodge wheels.
Yes, this is the RT line right here.
I like them, I think it's cool.
I love the wheels. The
Yeah.
shape is stunning. It makes the car look more muscular. I can't wrap my brain around the Dodge wheels.
Yeah, and then let's talk about what we think is under the hood, because they haven't officially unveiled it yet, but the previous model would have had either a 2.5 four-cylinder or a 3.5 six-cylinder. The 2.5 put out about 300 horsepower,
311 pounds
and
torque.
the 3.5 about 375, but we can show you something back here. We're going to get in Alex's shot. Sorry, Alex. We can see right there that this does say 3.5T. I suspect that's a turbo. Yeah.
Very much so.
All right, shall we get
Same engine we've seen in other Genesis and Hyundai, Kia Group cars.
Before we get to that one, that's the Electrified.
We'll get to that one.
Let's look at this one. Here, why don't you jump? Oh, no.
Well,
Alex is jumping there.
And this guy, he has no decorum whatsoever, and we have a bigger camera than him.
I know. My man Alex jumped in before we could. So what do you think?
Well, tell them about the front. The big changes are here.
Yeah, these are like horizontal wings, right? That now kind of lead into the grille.
It's a little bit more pronounced now.
Yeah.
And John Krotesky, who runs the design studio, which now, big news, there's a design studio for Genesis in the US, here in Los Angeles, and they say that this gives us tension in the design.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it looks very similar. You know, it's definitely more evolutionary than revolutionary. All right, why don't you jump in the passenger side?
Okay, we'll do it.
And I'll get
so we're not going to
on
talk
the driver's
about
side.
the front grille until we get back outside the car.
So Moto Man, you know that Genesis has really been upping the game in terms of luxury, right? I mean, these guys are directly competing with the Germans and of course Acura and Lexus. And what Genesis has done is they've basically brought more content for the same amount of money that you would pay for the competing vehicles. And there's no doubt that the same thing has happened in this car. I mean, I feel like I'm in a very expensive car. I've got leather steering wheel. You know, I've got this giant, I think they said it's 27-inch screen if I remember right. I love this lighting over here.
Notice they've changed some of the color and trim. Like this one is the twin turbo V6 is the up level, and here they've brought in that magma color in the contrast stitch, pinstripe, as well as the seatbelt.
Yeah, I mean, I call it orange, but you know.
They call it magma. I hate that name, magma.
What do you think of this interior?
I have to say, they've done a beautiful job with the design of this. This is what makes Genesis stand out. It's not just the design, but it's the tactile feel. All of the touch points are a step above most of the competitors.
But one of the critiques of the previous generation were these two knobs.
Too close together.
They're too close to number. So you've got your gear selector here, and then you've got your infotainment knob right there, and it's easy to confuse the two.
Now, for those of you that saw Tommy's video from Minnesota,
yes,
he did a whole thing about this screen. So they've brought this screen down from the GV80 Coupe into the GV70, so that's new.
You know what's interesting? BMW does a floating screen like this, but theirs is curved.
Yes, and bigger.
And bigger, yeah. This is a little bit smaller. And then, of course, we have, once again, haptic controls, which I'm not a big fan of.
This came down from the GV80 Coupe as well, GV80 and GV80 Coupe. So this used to be, there actually were hard buttons, but now you've just got the knobs, and then it goes to haptic here.
At least we have two sets of knobs, right? So you've got a volume knob. Does this change, does this do two things like in the Hyundai?
No, it does not.
That's great.
So actually it's the Kia.
It's the Kia, you're right, not the Hyundai, yeah.
Things. In the Hyundai, they still have hard buttons. This is now haptic here. I don't love this. I think they should have kept with the buttons, which are more, they work better in the Hyundai Kia group than this.
In the introduction, when they unveiled this, they said they've sold 85,000 of the GV70s.
Yeah, in 3 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good, for a brand that a lot of people have associated with.
We should give
budgets,
them a
right?
bit of a comparison. So, like
let's sit in the back. Let's talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
So BMW, I think they're the best in terms of comparison, in terms of volumes. So most likely, when you get above, say, $40,000, $50,000 in retail price, oh, don't kill yourself there.
Ouch.
This is what happens when you put like a 6'2" guy in the back seat
look,
of a smaller crossover.
I mean, I need a
Like, look at his knees.
I need a GV80, dude.
You wouldn't fit in the back of a GV80.
I do like the giant
We should
sunroof.
put you and Nathan back here. That'd be fun.
You know, I've got okay headroom, but this is all the way back. And the nice thing, well,
On this seat, you can control it from the side.
yeah, but this one I can't.
That one you can.
Yeah.
Well, that's the driver's seat. And notice what they do. They have the beautiful finish on the pedals over there, kind of like a Bentley. Makes sense because saying it came from Bentley, so you got a lot of details that are very much British.
I mean, show them the brake and the gas pedal.
That's what I was showing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how cool that
It's
looks.
a little bit tighter in there, so they can see
Yeah,
that.
That's sweet.
Love the details. The only people that do that, like Rolls-Royce,
Yeah.
Bentley, and Mercedes, Maybach, do
And,
that.
and then you only have 3-zone. I'm kind of disappointed. I was kind of hoping for 4-zone.
Yeah, but this
I know.
This is kind of like bargain basement for Genesis
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
So you're not going to get that kind of stuff for this price point. Oh, we got to finish the thing about the volume.
Yeah. What
So
about it?
these guys, they sold 85,000 of these over the. You want to go to the back?
Yeah. Let's open the back. Show them how much room there
They
is.
sold 85,000 of these things over the past 3 years. As a basis of comparison, BMW, same price point,
We'll show them the
they'll
button
do
here.
about double that.
That's kind of cool.
So the volumes for Genesis are still low. The name recognition for Genesis is still actually kind of low. So there's a little storage back here,
Yeah.
little toolkit
Yeah.
there.
No space saver, right? It's just
Nothing.
it's got nothing, dude.
Literally nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
What's interesting is there's like, even if you couldn't even fit one back there. So it's tight on packaging back here.
Now the big news. Let's go over.
Oh,
to the,
wait a minute, you didn't show them the exhaust. That's changed as well.
Yeah. So are they the kind where there's a little round exhaust that's hiding? I mean, this is very much German, right? The Germans have been doing this for a while.
Volkswagen in particular.
Yeah, and Audi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they cribbed a little bit of that design from the Germans. Now, a new Electrified GV70. The big news here is they've upped the battery size.
So it went up it was in the mid 70s. It's now just over 80 kilowatt hours. So a little bit more usable range. They didn't release the range, but the other thing we have to show them,
It's hiding somewhere. But how do you
now
open
a
it?
NACS port.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautifully done, actually.
Yeah, that is beautifully done.
So now it comes standard with a NACS port, and they give you a CCS adapter.
That's cool.
The Ioniq 9, which we're going to see tomorrow, also comes standard with a NACS port.
So if you guys don't know what NACS port is, it's North American Charging Standard. In other words, the Tesla standard.
Put another way, this man invested probably about $300,000 in NACS port.
All right, well, let's look at the inside. Motor Man, it's got heated steering wheel.
What do you think of the color on this one?
I love white. I don't want to live with white, but I love white. I mean, it's very classy in my book.
Notice the change in the tactile feel. So that one's obviously the sporty one. This one's trying to be a bit more high-tech because it's EV.
And thank God we don't have piano black here, because I'm so tired of
hate
piano black.
black.
I'm there with you.
Show them the headliner. Look at how nice the headliner is.
Oh, look at that. It's not Alcantara, or
No,
is
it's
it?
definitely it's not real suede. It's faux suede.
And
But
here-
it's a nice touch. Again, this is what sets Genesis apart. This kind of stuff.
Let me borrow the camera. You can see something here. They haven't released official figures yet in terms of how far it'll go, but at 87%, this car is showing 227
Yeah,
miles.
this was already low in the previous version of it. So even with like 3 or 4 extra kilowatt hours, I think you barely can get 300.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the math here, you're more like at 250.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, Genesis and Hyundai have, I don't know, is this 400 or 800 volt architecture? I'm thinking it's
This
800.
one's 400.
Is it 400? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this like the Kona
Yeah.
and the Nero EV is 400. You got to jump up to the EV6 and the Ioniq 5.
The other thing you have is that boost button, right? Where
That helps a lot, yeah.
Where it gives you a little bit more punch.
While you're down there, show them the steering wheel as well.
Yeah, I like the perforated steering wheel. I don't like, once again, more haptic controls. Not a big fan. At least you have a traditional or more traditional volume roller.
Oh, and these guys do the biometrics to start the car. So you could literally put a key card in your wallet or use your phone, get in the car, and then just use your fingerprint to start the car.
So what do you think of that? Do you really want, what the manufacturer will tell you, right, is that this allows you to set the car to your personalized function, so you could have your favorite radio stations, you can have your seat. But I don't want my car like knowing, you know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
worried about that. Here's what I'm worried about, and you and I already experienced it. We were on a drive recently in Southern California, and when you use either the key card or the phone as your key,
Yep.
sometimes it's going to unpair. And it's going to unpair where you have no cell coverage. Ask me how I know.
Yes, because it happened
Took
to you.
30 minutes of unpairing and repairing to get the car started and moved again.
Yeah, but there's a simple way of solving that, right? And I've got
You
it.
bring the key.
Yeah, I got it here in my wallet, right? I have a, you know, that's our Cybertruck, and I have the Cybertruck key in my wallet. So if that happens, I'm always, you know, unless somebody steals my wallet or I
But
lose
the whole
it.
point is, if you don't have that,
Right.
that's the thing that would worry me.
Hey.
I'm not so much worried about this.
Check this out. Look at that.
It's very space age, very George Jetson.
That reminds me a little bit of Rolls-Royce, right? Where they do the headliner. Is that actually lit up, or is that
It
just?
is lit up, but it's not quite like the headliner in the Rolls.
It is lit up. You're right. Look at that. Huh.
Yeah, it is lit, but the Rolls Royce twinkles.
And then I think the Rolls-Royce can be very bespoke, so you can make it your own, right? You
Yes,
can pick
you
whatever constellation you
Yep.
can.
What you can't do is you can't have the Starlight headliner and the sunroof. I would love for them to do that.
I like this.
The two-tone
Yeah, I do like this
did a
two-tone.
nice job. Again, this is all about tactile feel and color and trim.
And obviously, this highlight color you can change because this is different
Yes.
from the other one. But
Yeah.
that's very common now industry. In here, you don't have a refrigerator, but you do have a USB
Two USB-Cs.
C ports, and then then of course
Qi
Qi wireless
charger.
charging. Yeah.
The
And
thing
then
that stands out about this thing, these are fun to drive. Have you spent a lot of time driving these things?
I have not.
It's actually really good to drive. Shockingly good to drive.
And then you also have a crystal gear selector with the park in the middle. I mean, let's face it, the Koreans are they're knocking them out of the park
they're
one
killing
after
it.
another. Yeah,
Absolutely killing it.
they certainly are. Well, guys, let us know in the comments below. Is this something that you would consider buying? I mean, would you get this over an Acura? Would you get it over a Lexus? What would this compete with in those two worlds? RDX
So
for
this
the
would
Acura?
be the RDX, the Q5.
Yeah, NX and the NX.
It would be the
NX and the Lexus. Not that
in
it's
size.
kind of
price-
between the NX and the
Yeah,
and
in
the
price
RX.
and size, it would
Yeah.
be because it's a little bit bigger than an NX.
Yeah.
And then in the Cadillac world, it would be the. I don't think it would be the XT4. I think it would be somewhere between the 5 and the 4.
And then if you guys
So
have
it's a tweener.
Yeah, if you guys have been following Motoman and myself, you know that we have a tradition at the LA Auto Show.
We do.
We kind of do a state of the automotive business world, and so stay tuned for that video.
We are
Because
looking forward to that on Thursday.
yeah, on Thursday we're going to be heading out to the auto show, and then we'll do a walk around and we'll talk about brands and cars and just have a lot of fun.
Absolutely, very much looking forward to it.
All right, Motoman, thank you for the help with this video, guys. Remember, head on over to alltfl.com for more news, views,
And reviews.
real world reviews.
Excuse me.
See you guys next time. Ciao.